Hi, welcome to my workshop. This is where I do the sort of action overhauling on my pianos. The action is the mechanism inside, which is that bit, and that sits in the piano, and all the amazing work goes on in here. So this frame, which we call the action frame there, that holds the dampers, which you can see there. And also these hammers, which I've all dismantled, and they're all on the bench here. So these are the hammers, and they actually hit the strings. And can you see they're quite worn, these hammers? They've got a lot of grooves in them, which I'm going to reshape later on. See those grooves? That's where the hammer actually hits the string. So, and the other thing you can see is where the hammers are screwed on to the action frame. Can you see those joints? So there's the hammer that hits the string, and there's the joints, and there's the what we call the flange, hammer flange, which sits over here and sits in there on the actual frame, and it's screwed in. Each one is screwed in individually. But these joints, can you see the little red felt on that flange? There's a pin going through each of these, and it goes through that red felt, and that red felt can swell up in damp conditions and cause the hammer to get stiff. Actually, this is, if I show you, can you see there? That's probably better. Can you see there's a pin that goes through there, and it sits and it joins onto there. So that's the hammer that hits the string. And then down here is the pin. Okay, and there's one there that I've dismantled just to show you. Again, that's the actual sort of butt, we call it a butt, and on that butt goes this flange there, and there's a pin that goes through it and sits kind of on there through that hole. So that pin I've got half out there, and I shall file that felt and put a new pin in so that it sits on there. It's just the right friction in there to make sure that the hammer moves nicely and doesn't stop repeating, because the problem is, if I show you this one here, I don't know if you can see, but there's a spring on there. You see that spring on that sort of bit of cord, that loop, and that's meant to pull that flange back, and what's happening is it's not having any effect at all, because the felt has swollen up, and that will cause the note not to repeat very well, or in some cases even not even play. It just gets stuck. That sits up there and it hits the string. That hammer hits the string like that, but unfortunately it won't do much hitting the string if it's all sort of not coming back properly, because that pin, that what we call centre pin, is too tight in there. So I file the bushing on each individual 88 of the notes. 88 hammers to do here, and then then it'll play nicely. So I just wanted to show you the sort of work involved in overhauling a piano action. There's lots more involved. Well, there's 5,000 parts in a piano, roughly, give or take, and there's a lot to do. This one's not too much to do, but the notes aren't repeating, so I've got to recenter each of these hammers and reshape the hammers, and then the usual regulation and that sort of thing that I do on all my pianos. So hope that's informative for you, and that you've enjoyed this little public information film. Bye for now.